Well, good afternoon, Michiganders. It is Tuesday, February 28th, 2023, and of course, this is Tuesday with Tom, Michigan's only weekly podcast where we do answer your questions about estate planning and estate settlement in Michigan. As always, I'm your host, Tom Doyle, estate planning attorney, lifelong Michigan resident, and ambassador for all things good in this great state of Michigan. Welcome to today's program. Well, just a brief recap of last week's show. It was our 7th anniversary. Started the program way back in February of 2016. Been at it already for 7 years. And what we did last week was I replayed in its entirety our original episode of Tuesday with Tom. So if you're looking to see what we were doing 7 years ago, I would invite you to listen to last week's program. Today's program, we're going to talk a little bit about retirement plans. There's a lot of things in the news about retirement plans because of the Secures Act, etc. So be sure that you understand the Roth IRA 5-year rule. That's what we're going to be talking about today. Be sure you understand the Roth IRA 5-year rule. But please remember what I'm about to discuss during the program is, as always, for educational purposes only. It is not intended to be legal advice or tax advice or financial advice. You need to work with your attorney and your tax advisor and your financial advisor to determine what is appropriate for you and your estate plan. Be sure you understand the Roth IRA 5-year rule. You probably know what Roth IRAs are. Originally, we had IRAs, and with a regular IRA, you would get a deduction for the amount that you put into your IRA, and then you would pay taxes on the IRA when it was distributed. The Roth, a more recent type of IRA, is just the opposite of that. You are putting in after-tax dollars, so you're not getting a deduction on your tax return. Future, though, withdrawals from the Roth IRA are tax-free if, and only if, though, they are going to be what are considered qualified distributions. So again, contribution to your IRA, always tax and penalty free when you're putting the money in. You can withdraw them at any time and at any age because you've already paid the tax on those funds. And there are some benefits to that Roth IRA if you're looking at transferring what's remaining in the Roth IRA to beneficiaries at the time of your death. So while the contributions are tax and penalty free, and the contributions can be withdrawn at any time, the same is not always true for the investment earnings on those contributions. So you put something in your Roth, there have been earnings on what you've put into the Roth. Those are your investment earnings. In tax lingo, though, a Roth IRA withdrawal must again be a qualified distribution in order to avoid taxes or penalties. So, taxes on the investment earnings are considered ordinary income. So if they're going to be taxed, they're going to be taxed as ordinary income and not the preferential tax rate for capital gains. So why might you have to pay tax on the withdrawal from your IRA? Well, there are two requirements in order for a withdrawal to count as a qualified distribution. One, you have to be at least age 59 and a half. If you take the money out before 59 and a half, subject to some exceptions, but generally speaking, if you take the money out of your Roth IRA before you get to be 59 and a half, there might well be a 10% penalty on any investment earnings that you withdraw. Again, penalty on and income taxes on any investment earnings, not what you contributed to the Roth IRA. So, again, as long as you're waiting till 59 and a half before you start taking out earnings, you don't have to worry about you've met that qualification. Secondly, though, there is what is considered the 5-year rule. And that is this: a Roth IRA owner must have their account for at least 5 years in order to avoid paying income tax on any withdrawn investment earnings. So before you start taking earnings, not principal, but before you start taking earnings out of your Roth IRA, you must have that account for at least 5 years. And that is the 5-year rule that we're looking at today. So when you set up your Roth and you're going to make contributions into the Roth, and those contributions are going to grow inside that Roth from either increase in value of the assets, etc., then in order for you to avoid paying income tax on the earnings portion, you have to have had the account for at least 5 years. So think about that. If you want to do some advanced planning, then the 5-year holding period begins with the first tax year for which a contribution was made to a Roth IRA. It's not from when you make the contribution that you are now removing from the Roth, it's simply from the first tax year. So in other words, the initial Roth IRA contribution is what starts the 5-year clock, and it starts January 1st of the year in which the first dollar was contributed. And that clock lasts forever, so it doesn't matter that later contributions are made or if the account is closed and then reopened. So if you're going to do some perhaps long-range planning, let's say today you're looking and saying, well, maybe I don't have a lot that I'm going to be contributing into a Roth now, but if I set up the Roth now, even though maybe it's going to be years before I make significant contributions to it, setting it up now, making an initial contribution now will start that 5-year clock running for you. And so as long as you wait till 5 years before you start taking any income out of the Roth, you're going to be taking that income, again, tax-free, so long, again, as you meet the other requirement that you're at least age 59 and a half. So it can behoove you, even again, if you're not going to make regular contributions to the Roth, to get a Roth set up, to get something contributed into it so that you can start that 5-year clock running. Another consideration, though, important, okay, that 5-year clock may still apply, though, if you inherit a Roth IRA from a deceased account owner. So we're talking about Roth IRAs that you've set up for yourself. We're not necessarily talking about a Roth IRA that you might be receiving from a deceased account holder. So make sure you understand that 5-year rule. Make sure you don't take investments out of the Roth within that 5-year time frame of when the account was set up. Understand you can set it up now and not even be making substantial contributions to a very later time in the future when perhaps you can better afford to do so. Well, as always, Amanda and I would be honored to have the opportunity to help you protect your loved ones by putting together your estate plan or amending a current plan or assisting you in settling an estate. Obviously, the questions about the 5-year rule, those are things that you should discuss with your tax advisor and your financial advisor. But We're now offering in-person consultations at our new East Lansing office, and we are still offering virtual consultations via Zoom or telephone. Simply head on over to our website at doylelawpc.com, where you will find information on how to go about setting up that consultation, again, in person or by phone. Of course, as always, if you have individual documents that you're looking to have prepared for you, maybe all you need to have prepared is a new healthcare power of attorney, or maybe a durable power of attorney. Maybe the rest of your documents are all in place for you, but you're just looking at one document, or for many clients, it might be a new certificate of trust that they perhaps are selling real estate and need to have a certificate of trust in order to do that. We invite you to visit our legal store, again, at doylelawpc.com. And at the legal store, you will find there the ability to order individual documents that can be ordered and delivered to you through email so that you'll be able to execute them. You can also visit our legal store at the Doyle Law PC Facebook page, where we have links to the documents as well. So again, please visit us at doylelawpc.com for full information on how to schedule an appointment and how to order legal documents from us. And on that note, I think that's going to be it for today's show. As always, though, if you have a comment about the program, a topic that you'd like to have me discuss, or questions that you'd like to have answered, please send me an email. That would be tom@tuesdaywithtom.com. Please follow us on Facebook and invite your friends and family to follow us as well. That, again, would be Tuesday with Tom. And the office, of course, is at Doyle Law PC on Facebook as well. Remember, too, the program is available probably wherever you listen to your podcast: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcast, iHeartRadio, Spreaker, and many, many more. And you can ask your smart speaker to play Tuesday with Tom as well. Well, I want to thank you again for spending some of your time with us today. And as always, I hope that you have an awesome day and an awesome week in Michigan. Stay safe. Tuesday with Tom has been brought to you by the estate planning attorneys at Doyle Law PC. To learn how we can help you with your estate plan or with settling a loved one's estate, please call us today at 517-323-7366. That's 517-323-7366.